Hello everybody, Ridehouse here, welcome back to another video. Today I've got 8 upcoming fantasy games that I've had my eye on for a while. These are all due for release in 2021 and beyond, so let's get into it. Towers. If you've ever watched me stream, then you already know I love a good survival game. Towers is a multiplayer survival game from Dreamlit Entertainment, and if the trailer is anything to go by, looks to be set in a truly fantastical world full of life. Creatures large and small roam the world, players will need to hunt to survive, and build and defend against what the world throws at them, which could be other players, or even bigger, badder creatures. This is what Dreamlit Entertainment has to say about it. A game prototype made by 6 core developers over the course of 12 months. We strive to create a fantastical world full of mysteries and wonders for players to explore and build together. A little vague to say the least, and being a game prototype, the final game, if it even makes it that far, could end up being a far ways off from what the trailer shows us. Although there isn't a lot of information on the website, a little trip over to their social accounts does give some insight into what they have planned. Dreamlit seem to be really active in listening to the community on what they would like to see in this game, which is really great to see. They've even held fan art contests and design competitions that will apparently make it into the game as actual mechanics. One of these was a mask design competition that will ultimately have the winner's mask in the game. Speaking of masks, they seem to be fairly important to the mechanics of the game. As you can see in the trailer, every character is wearing one, and according to some comments by Dreamlit on their Instagram, players will be able to forge different masks that will allow them to blend in and help in the hunting of different animals. A pretty cool feature that does add something new to a genre that is beginning to get very repetitive. Creatures can also be used as mounts, and there is some sort of gliding and flying mechanic which will surely come in handy when exploring this beautiful world. In addition to all this, there is the normal survival style building, where players can build their own towers and villages with their friends, and carve out their own little slice of heaven in the world. It's not all good news though. Things have gone a little quiet over at Dreamlit in recent days, with their last post on their social media all the way back in July 2019. Does that mean that this game has already gone the way that so many others have gone before? I really hope not, as it does look as though it could be something very special. Regardless, I will be keeping an eye on this game, and I'll let you know if there's any more news. Ashes of Creation. Ashes of Creation is an MMORPG from Intrepid Studios. Set on a fallen world untouched by civilizations for thousands of years, players will rebuild, repopulate and rediscover the world of Vera. Cities will rise and fall, their fates determined through force of will and power. Ashes of Creation was born from a drive to build a game unlike the many pay-to-win titles that have plagued the genre for so long. They wanted to make a game with a true sense of community in a world that felt truly alive. To listen to the team talk about the game, you can't help but get excited. Ashes of Creation will feature a node system on the world map that allows players to build towns and cities through the various stages of civilization, and then defend them from other players and also the world. Each node has different world events that could potentially happen. The one they give as an example is a dragon coming down from the mountain to attack the city. The inhabitants, namely the players who own houses or other buildings in the city, some skin in the game as they say, will have to band together to fight back and risk losing everything to save their homes, or pack up and try again somewhere else. If they manage to pull off this mechanic, it could really change MMOs and make a fantasy world that feels truly alive to the player. I can't think of any other MMO that has such a high risk-reward factor. Of course, this system could also be a haven for trolls who just want to ruin everyone else's fun, but hopefully they've already thought of a way to deal with that. There is no set release date yet for Ashes, but it's expected at the very earliest to be in beta late next year, but I have a feeling it will be even later than that. Kena Bridge of Spirits. Kena Bridge of Spirits is a fantasy action adventure for the PS4, PS5 and coming to PC via the Epic Games Store. It is due to release in Q1 of 2021. Kena, a young spirit guide, travels to an abandoned village in search of the sacred mountain shrine. She struggles to uncover the secrets of this forgotten community hidden in an overgrown forest where wandering spirits are trapped. You will build a team of rot, which are apparently timid and elusive spirits scattered throughout the forest that maintain balance by decomposing dead and rotting elements. With your team of little spirit things, you will have to explore a forgotten village and solve the mystery of a strange curse and draw upon the power of the spirit realm to restore this once majestic and fantastical world. Ember promised fast-paced combat as Kena has to battle corrupted spirits that have become trapped and are unable to move on. The game looks beautiful, and apparently its Asian inspiration could be seen with in-game nods to such places as Japan and Bali. Overall, I am very excited for this one. I'm getting Zelda mixed with Fable vibes with a little extra special sauce on top. I'll let you know when I know more. New World. New World is an open-world dark fantasy MMO from Amazon Games. Fate summons you to the shores of Eternum, the Eternal Isle, a cursed Eden beneath which lays the special mineral Azoth. You must overcome the brutal legions of the corrupted and draw battle lines with competing players in this land of danger and opportunity. The world of Eternum is separated into territories, and some of these can be controlled by companies of players. When two territories overlap, these companies can go to war at their forts in a 50v50 showdown to see who will come out on top. New World has had a bit of a bumpy road so far. From what I've heard of the testing phase, some people loved it and others didn't at all. Thankfully, the game still holds a lot of promise as the developers listened and went back and changed a lot, and are still continuing to do so. The game is currently scheduled for a spring 2021 release. Project Athia. Project Athia is the working title for the first game from Square Enix's new studio Luminous Productions. Project Athia is an action-adventure RPG headed for the PS5 and PC, at least apparently. Little is still known about this game, but judging from the trailer, it's gonna have like a hint of Final Fantasy about it. The website only holds a vague synopsis. In a world not her own, where resolve will be tested, truths will be questioned, and devotions will be doubted, she will rise. Still, the world looks incredible, with some pretty wild platforming and magical effects to be seen. And seriously, just look at that dragon. definitely one to look forward to. Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy is an open world RPG from Avalanche Software, because why not? I mean, who doesn't love Hogwarts? Finally, we can step outside the stories of the books and we'll be able to play as the witch or wizard of our choosing and have our own adventure as we wander the halls of the famous school. In the 1800s. Who knows, maybe we'll be able to meet great-great-great-grandpa Potter. Players will be able to grow their magical abilities and master new spells and combat skills through casting, brewing potions, and taming fantastic beasts. Hogwarts Legacy is filled with various missions and scenarios for you to encounter along your way and will challenge your morality, leaving it up to you to decide how to handle each situation. You won't be alone on your journey either. Although there has been no multiplayer announced, you will get to select companions who help you along the way. As it is an open world adventure, you won't just be exploring Hogwarts. There is wizarding life beyond the walls after all. You'll be able to venture out and visit new and familiar locations, such as the Forbidden Forest and Hogsmeade Village. It's looking to be a fun trip back into the wizarding world, and is headed to all consoles and PC in 2021. Final Fantasy XVI. Final Fantasy XVI is the newest title in the much-loved series from Square Enix. I've always had a soft spot for Final Fantasy, and although some titles have been far stronger than others, I've always enjoyed them in their own way. The trailer shows exactly what we have come to expect from this series, with the usual talk of icons and crystals, and the action combat we have seen in the latest titles. I know most people love the new action combat, but in all honesty, I really do miss the old ATB system. With a trailer rating of 18, the 16th installment promises to be a much darker tone than some of the other entries. It's still early days for this one with no announced release date, however there are character bios and world lore available on the website, along with the promise of the next big reveal scheduled for 2021. Project Awakening. Project Awakening is the much anticipated action RPG hailing from Side Games, and much like Towers at the start of this video, things have gone a little too quiet. The Awakening trailer caused a sensation when it was first released, but since then, little to nothing has happened with it. I really hope that this game hasn't been lost to the ether just yet, as the trailer shows some of the best action combat I've ever seen, set in a hauntingly beautiful world. Also, I really want to know what those giant shadowy titan things were at the end. That's all for this list. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what games you're excited for in the comments below. Don't forget to come follow me on Twitch to watch me play live and have a chat. We have a good group of guys and gals there and are always looking for more. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it and don't forget to subscribe for more. See you in the next one.